Hello folks, I'm the Red. This is Hollywood Animal, and since the last time we left off, I accidentally hit the spacebar and moved forward a couple of days, and our headquarters in that time produced some legal protection for us, some high-grade legal protection. So, I don't really want to delay contract payment. I do want 5-year and 10-year contracts. So I guess we are going to do some delayed contract payment. I don't think I'll use it again. Time just running by because because I just didn't hit pause fast enough. In any case, last we left off, the last thing I said is I was gonna rename our historical romance, The Wild West, Stolen Hearts. It's a Wild West bank robbery movie with a focus on love, so seems fitting enough. Let's go ahead and let time roll at least a bit. This movie, well, I guess we can't rename them now that they're this far along. First Among the Last, though, yeah. I'm not going to try to rename every movie. Just the ones that I think could use a little bit. A little bit of a better name. At least I have a good idea for. Jed Payne, our script department head. I'm going to say... Oh, actually, you, script department, go ahead and do the more expensive speed up. Go ahead and shelve this movie. Special events. This was something I have not actually seen yet. Open the special events office for holding events. You can do corporate party, use the studio grounds to host employee parties. Banquets, host banquets on the studio grounds for businessmen, politicians, artists, and other important guests. Banquets bring influence points. Both of these are, they'll both be done inside of a year. I'm going to do the corporate party first, because we could still use a little increase to our happiness. We could also spend some influence, speeding up 100. That's 200 influence points. What else do we need to spend influence on? Well, I'm going to say that it's not worth it for this, at least, because it is such a short time. I'm happy to spend a couple 100,000. We've got plenty of money. Well, plenty of money. We've got 2 million. Actually, not a lot in terms of, a studio, a movie studio. I'm going to say let's... Oh. Our special events. This is nothing wrong with your screen. The game seems to have just frozen up on me. Okay. Seems that the game has decided to continue to work. Well, now the audio stopped. But, I'm going to go ahead and just... Oh, no, there it is. There's the audio. I'm going to put this building down. It's going to be months before it's actually finished. But I think that was less time than, yeah, the actual ability to run the parties anyways. Prohibition kills 10,000 Americans was the headline in the morning newspaper across the country. A leaked document from the Public Health Service exposed the rampant scale of poisoning from low-quality alcohol. Journalists believe that the number of victims could be many times higher than reported. Yeah, that's what Prohibition does. Anthony, our head of security, wants to continue his contract. Yeah. Script department is going to let us develop story ideas a little faster. Additional 25% XP per story element. New ideas develop on their own. 1,000 days for 9 elements. We can choose. We could get this down. Sequels down to 1,000. Oh, Script Doctor. Yeah, let's get the Script Doctor going. I'm gonna speed this up. Script Doctor would be nice to have. Just improves the scripts. Terry, we're gonna go ahead, double check what ideas we have. We've got a drama, modern drama. Do we have a drama writer? We could give it to a freelancer. Romantic drama, detective drama. Maurice is, I mean, we've hired you already, right? Maurice is writing us a does it not appear on here? I'm gonna say historical action drama. Terry, you can write that. And first among the last. Finish with post-production. Wow. Why did this tank... I don't really know why this tanked so much from post-production when we had a movie that was higher rated that didn't tank quite as much. First among the last, adventure detective, drama comedy. I don't really like the name. It is a modern American town, clumsy oaf. Who's the antagonist? A murderer. I think I'm going with this one. There's no... oh, the woman's... May Lowe's playing the murderer. It's kind of funny. There's... well, here's the clumsy oaf. Here's the clumsy oaf. Here, so I'm gonna pick this one. And I'm gonna push this. Well, it's not gonna get a thing. Can I rename it right now? Or because it's gone through post, I can't rename it now. Okay. Gotta name it. We can rename them while they're still in... before they go through post-production. Okay, that's the rule. So this here is our last chance to rename this movie. Pyrrhic victory, protagonist dies. There's some slapstick. It's a comedy. Sure, that's a good enough name for it. Again, editor and composer. Let's get all of our ducks in a row there. I wonder what particularly determines the duration here. Is it the number of this can't be the number of elements. Well, maybe it is. Anyways, I'm gonna start post-production here. And we can keep rolling, right? Christopher Ross here is wanting his contract renewed. If I check our gifts, I can get another few things of whiskey while I come here to our management team. You want... Okay, we've given you watch recently. We haven't given you cigars or whiskey for a while. Let me give you a thing of cigars. You have not gotten anything. Christopher, you have gotten... You haven't gotten cigars recently. So let's give you a thing of cigars. I'm not going to give you a watch because I've given you a bunch of them. Have I given you a watch recently? Not this year. Not going to be enough to push you over the edge, but and you haven't gotten a watch this year. So there's a few gifts given out. Keep time ticking along here. Our 10th. Wow, we I could have pushed more on that first week, maybe. Let me set up distribution and max our theaters, accept that. Your advertising is already paid for through the end of your run. New story event, Saving the Beloved. Let's have you finish there. And oh, I never did. I completely forgot. Screenwriters, Gernstein. Henry, we've checked, has no dirt. Maurice, we've checked. Maurice is the guy we hired. Joe. Homer, go check Joe for dirt. Also, we've got this special task here. Infiltrated. Claude here has infiltrated the Gernstein brothers, but I'm not quite sure what that gets us. But One of their attitudes towards proposed initiative is advanced. Take the agent. So is this just for checking how they're going to vote in the FSAA? Stolen Hearts. Wow, we have spent a lot in pre-production, and it got all the way up to 7. Ooh, very nice. Let's try our best to keep it up there. Not enough extras. We needed more extras. Not able to hire more extras, but we need them nonetheless. $150 per day over the course of 100 days. We have 10,000 something. We're gonna put security on this. I'm not gonna switch this to an 8-hour work week. One, no one's other than Will Doyle is at all disloyal. Will Doyle is disloyal though, and for that he gets gifts. Wow, you have not received any gifts from us. But this has no... The service level is largely for location filming. And this has no... This is not being shot on location. This is being shot entirely on a soundstage, right? There it is. Entirely on a soundstage. So I'm not going to add service to that. I think's right. Well, why did it start over here while the other one started at 0? I'm not going to pay for service. Why is it not filming? Someone not available? I don't know why it's not filming. Terrible script. Thank you, Thomas, for absolutely nothing. Ideas are all out, so anyone who's not doing anything needs to go and start researching new things for us. And I'm going to say, let's start another project. Well, both of our big... Wait, hold on. No, it can't be the soundstage. Why are you still in planning? I said start production, right? Not because of anything repairing. Do I need to take security off? No. Okay, what could I be missing here? Soundstage 3. Reserved. Yeah, you're reserved for... Night of Magic. This was another movie we wrote. A little more mediocre of a script. Wilfred getting some... work status. Will Doyle. Cornelius. Planning. You're writing something else. You don't need to be involved at all. Why? Why is it not... LA Mayor Fred Carpenter held a 90-minute press conference discussing the plan for his next term. He promised to deal with poverty and reduce unemployment. Carpenter also commented on the attack of his chief rival, Richard Stripes. There's some fellow named Tripe or Strop trying to accuse me of turning our beloved Los Angeles into something terrible, and he and his goon squad were seen beating people up in Skid Row with no cause. We're talking women and children. Believe me, someone like that gets to power, anything could happen, even civil war. This is no joke. The mayor also mentioned the record number of donations he managed to collect for the election campaign. My friends support me. I don't want to name names. I just say there are people who share my values. They know that I'm a fair person who knows how to be grateful. What could... Okay. We're going to start another script here. The landlord might be it. Cinematographer. Well, here's the thing. This movie is now holding up one of our sound stages. Wait, what? Finish planning. Start production. I'm actually really confused here why this is not going. What I'm gonna do is not start project, not this. We're gonna construct right here. SicilianTiger ready for release. We don't advise you waste your time on this. Seems like the whole budget went to hiring Joanne Spencer. How else can you explain such an otherwise featureless film? Just when the film seems like it's picking up speed, it immediately slams on the brakes. This goes on for nearly 2 hours. I want to draw a chalk line around film like this because it's dead. Oh, they really just lay into us. I mean, this is actually a pretty solid film. Costs us over $1 million with everything included. My grandchildren never took their eyes off the screen. Now I can die. Search for blackmail material. Don't want to trouble yourself rummaging through someone else's trash. Trust the job to people who are used to getting their hands dirty. Someone has a secret they can find in no time. Okay. Clock with 3 hands can end distribution. Goes in the archive. Made $2 million at the box office. Staled both antagonists getting killed and hopeless romantics. I'm gonna cancel this. Because I don't know what's going wrong here. But something seems to have broken. And by the time comments get into it, I will be well past this point. Well, maybe you can tell me in the comments what's, you know, what I did wrong there, what happened there. The landlord. Let's. Maybe it was because we had people working on like this. It shouldn't. People who didn't have enough time on their contract. It shouldn't. It still should keep rolling, but maybe it didn't. It just broke anyways. Let's go with a corrupt official. Can be Peter Harris. Love interest. Let's make this Betty Lim. May can be the angry boss. We'll avoid having everyone working that is not whose contract is not nearly up. We'll avoid having anyone working on this next movie who's... I'm sorry, that really tossed me, having that just sit like that. Because I really don't know what went wrong there. First Among the Last is not going to be stale. We can go ahead and say our next movie is Empty Saloon, which is slated to release Halloween. So we got the 8 weeks, and then this will come out very end of December, rolling into January. Let's films. This is... I'm gonna say let's get a total of 12,000 screenings first week, drop it to 8 the second week, Let's say drop it to 9 the second week. Reorganize the advertising. Oh, no, I don't want to move when you're happening. This movie, First Among the Last, is adventure, detective, dramedy. It's got nudity in it. It's not for kids. Older crowds, newspaper, billboards, and intellectuals. Or it's got nudity. Let's put it on Spark. Spark's the magazine that was doing well because of nudity. Well, because of provocative images. Police are raiding us again. We're going to put I think I can give all these gifts away. Andy, you are services. Let's go ahead to a 1% speed up. And then I'm gonna give all of our gifts away. Let's go to management. They don't get a lot of gifts. I've never given you whiskey. You've only ever received a watch, and that watch was last year. You have gotten whiskey, but not cigars. Security. I'll give you cigars. Everett. We have given you cigars recently and a watch recently. Billy. Gifts have not been given this year. I haven't given you a watch this year. You take a watch. And that should be fine. Yeah, if you want to tell me what happened there that seemed to have broken okay, so that button that says change operative or change agent, it does not need to change the agent. Good to know. If you want to tell me in the comments what happened there, if you know, please do. I was kind of dismissive, but I don't know what went wrong. Pirate Victory is losing some of its luster in post. Anyone here level up or noteworthy? Does not seem so. This movie is an action comedy adventure. A detective versus... Yeah, this is the detective getting shot. it's also not going to be able to be released yet. Got enough films waiting for release that I'm not worried about a film not going into post. These numbers are wrong. Right? I'm gonna say finish prep, and if I look at the gifts, yeah, those numbers are wrong. So hopefully, well, hold on. Let me put this movie into post-production because we can do that before the police come in. I don't know how that's going to interact with still being in production. It shouldn't have an effect. Like, even if they broke someone's legs, even if the police go and broke someone's legs, it shouldn't be a problem. Oh. Yeah, we can throw rap parties now. Is this the... This is the movie... Yeah, see? Everyone's loyalty, 100% now. This is the movie where everyone was medium loyalty. Right? How much... Yeah, we don't need to throw a rap party for this. We can just start post-production. Emma, Billy, both of you work on that. I think... Yeah, not all of our writers are working. We've got a romance here to be written. Historical romance. There's a cowboy involved, so sure. Even if it's set in a modern American city, it's not a modern movie. Let the police raid happen. And... no violations. During the studio raid, the cops recognized Charlie Graham and asked for his autograph. Charlie Graham had never been asked for an autograph before and was deeply moved by the attention. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, if you have an idea why that movie in production didn't actually go into production, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Or leave anything else in the comments. Especially if you've enjoyed this Let's Play so far. You can also subscribe if you want to see what happens next time. And I'll see you next time when we continue playing Hollywood Animal. And hopefully I will be less on tilt from whatever happened there. I really don't know. It's still confusing me. It's also means that we have literally nothing in production. But we do have, like, we have the SicilianTiger here who has not paid out. Wow, 2 million. 2 million in the first and we called the perfect 99% attendance. Called the number of screenings perfectly. That's great. Didn't have to pay any more than we needed. Didn't have a bunch of people unable to see it because there was no space. Just perfect. Although I do wonder if this number is effective by the fact that we talked about people who are unemployed being able to see movies for free if they have ticket from the employment office. Either which way, 99% theater filled is good by me. That's a good million. I mean, that paid for itself first week. And it's just cake from there. It's just icing on the cake from there. So yeah, I'll see you next time. And yeah, hopefully I'll be less on tilt because of, hopefully this does not become a problem. I am going to continue the next episode, and if that happens again, I will stop short and go look to see if I can figure out what the problem is, if it's like a known problem. If it doesn't reoccur, great. But if you know why, please tell me. I'll see you next time.